Alright, as many of you know, this past year I went on a road trip across the Midwest, and I brought home a ton of souvenirs from my journeys. I don't like to just get random things, I get things that I am actually going to use, and while I was in Louisville, I did the Evan Williams Bourbon Experience, and I picked up a ton of their non-alcoholic souvenirs across Louisville. While at the Evan Williams Bourbon Experience, I of course received a free glass and coaster, but I also picked up the Ideal Bartender cocktail book. Alright, the first thing I was excited to grab was the Evan Williams Bourbon Marinade. I'm going to let that simmer on the back burner while I go over the other stuff. I love bourbon and I love coffee, but I gotta tell you, the Evan Williams barrel aged coffee was not my cup of tea. It was really, really sour. The Evan Williams Peach Chapstick was delicious. I couldn't stop myself from licking it off my lips every chance that I had. Okay, now it's time for the big heavies. I grabbed the cigar from their gift shop and I saved it for the night that I would go through their cocktail mixers. The bitters, the old-fashioned mixed, and some nice smoked honey. I decided to turn it into a complete Evan Williams night. I put together a cocktail and hung out outside smoking my cigar while the chicken inside cooked with the bourbon marinade. I mixed them with standard Evan Williams Black Label bourbon. Keep in mind that I did not purchase any liquor while I was at the Evan Williams distillery because everything that they had available, except for 2 bottles, is available in stores, and those 2 bottles were sold out. So there wasn't really any need for me to purchase anything when I could just go to the corner store and get a bottle of 1783. Look at this Evan Williams Old Fashioned Mix. Alright, so it says 1 ounce. Normally I wouldn't do this. I just eyeball it. I feel like that is 2 ounces, not 1 ounce. That's my Evan Williams Experience glass. Alright, now for the bitters. So this is technically a double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing is coming out of here. I feel like this bottle. Sorry, my crappy. So the eyedropper doesn't actually pick anything up. Alright, it says to add 3 ounces, and this is a double. So we're gonna go here for 6 ounces. It's not quite 6, but ballpark. And that is what is on the agenda for tonight. And I've had these forever, so I'm just gonna go ahead. It's not an old fashioned. My cocktail turned out great. If you're into experimenting with mixers, I suggest you grab their cocktail mix and some of their bitters. Unfortunately, they are not available on the website. Their coffee, their chapstick, their marinade, the other stuff that I talked about, they are all on there. But if you want to try their cigars, if you want to try the mixers, you have to get them at the distillery. Unless you can find them somewhere else, but they're not on Evan Williams' website. I know that everyone always swears their food is good when they taste it on screen. I'm not going to taste it, but it was amazing. I have been on a journey of finding sauces that aren't tomato based, and I was really happy with this one. You can see that I packed up some when I was done, direct for the freezer. That's my Nesco. You can see that none of the juice got in there. I really hate when it gets into the machine, so I often don't vacuum seal stuff that has liquid on it because of that, but this worked out perfectly. So it's going straight into the freezer. Alright, now that that's done, I can pack up some more. You can see this mutant-sized piece to the right that I marinated and then put some additional seasoning on from the farm. Now let's take a look at this sauce. The bourbon marinade was a 12-ounce bottle. I used maybe 2/3 of it. You can see that I cooked 2 quarter chickens tonight and put 2 in the freezer. And this bottle was only $10 and it's available on their website. It has 15 calories and it wasn't too bad on sodium. Now, as I said before, I'm trying to avoid tomatoes, but a lot of people who have stomach issues don't want to mess with soy or wheat, and that is the #1 ingredient other than water. So if you're avoiding soy, I would avoid this, but overall it was pretty good. When you were looking at the chicken, you could see little bits and pieces. I think that's tiny bits of pineapple or garlic. But the sauce was a win, so I will be picking up more from their website.
Stop cursing.